Hi my friends, Sam Villa here. Today I want to share with you a fishtail, but a different way in which to do it, where it creates more of a box fishtail. It's really cool, simple to do, so don't think you can't do it, because you can. So what we're going to do is we're going to start like we normally do a fishtail, which is simply dividing that into two sections. Now if we do a fishtail normally, we'll take a slice on the outside. The particular way I do it is I take a slice on the outside, I turn my hand over and put it into that hand. And then I'll take another slice on this side, turn my hand over, and place it into the opposite hand. So we're gonna do that, but instead of turning the hand over, we're gonna split it into two sections and pass it through to the opposite side. So watch how we're gonna start. So I'm gonna start on the outside, I'm gonna take a section, I'm gonna slice this into two, I'm gonna open that up and pull it to the opposite side. So watch the technique, listen to the rhythm. Palm pinch, I come through, I take a section of hair, about the same density, I slice that with my index finger, I come through with my thumb, open it up, and now I just pull through, I claw that with my middle finger and thumb, and pull that through. And you can see how it looks like a simple fishtail right now. But here's the difference. You're coming through, you take your section. Rather than putting it in the opposite hand immediately, I want you to slice that into two. Once you slice this into two, I want you to open it up. Now just get this hair that you sliced, pass it through this section, grab it and place it into the opposite hand. Make sure you apply tension and you pull the sections apart. So once again, we're gonna come through on the opposite side, be consistent with the amount of density of hair that you're taking within each section. Once you split that, pull it to the opposite side. Now, once you pull that to the opposite side, it becomes part of that right section. So you're always working with two sections until you pick up a slice, and we slice that and pass our hand through. Now, my product of choice before I started was I put Outshine 01 on my hands just to give me some control. Outshine 01, good way to think about it, it's 1 time stronger than water. So it gives me a little bit more slip, but it helps to bind the section as we're creating the fishtail. We're moving one section to the opposite side. So we take a slice, same consistency. Once you have that section, we come through, divide it into two, open it up, pass it to the opposite hand. Come through, take a slice. Opposite side, we come through. Notice how I open it up with my index finger. Then I bring my thumb around, I open it. Now I'm gonna pull through, meaning my index finger and thumb hook around that section. Now watch my right hand. My middle finger and thumb come and grab that and pull that to the opposite side. Simple rhythm, my friends, but it takes practice. So my suggestion would be get 4 pieces of rope, and now what I want you to do is just practice this slice and open with those 4 pieces of rope. 2 pieces of rope in the left hand, 2 pieces of rope in the right hand. And you just come through, open and slice, and move to the opposite side. Once you do this, you're gonna start to see that you're achieving a fishtail on all 4 sides. No matter which way you're gonna look at the fishtail, you're gonna see it happening on all 4 sides. So we continue. We're gonna continue to work down the section, slicing, opening, and passing through to the opposite hand. So Sam, if there's any concerns that you have, what would be the concern? The concern would be the consistency of the slice being the same on both sides. Number 2 would be how you pull this apart and the tension that you maintain. Tension is critical. If you don't keep the tension the same on each section, then we're gonna have one section bubble up and the rest will sit nice and tight. So I want you to notice when I'm here how much I pull apart the left section and the right section. Once again, take a slice on the outside, split it into 2, and pass it to the opposite hand. Take a slice on the opposite side, split it into 2, and pass it to the opposite hand. Now, as I do this, you start to take a look at the mannequin. You'll start to see I'm getting a fishtail on that side, a fishtail on that side, and I'm getting a fishtail underneath, and I'll show that to you when I complete it. So we're gonna continue. Always remember which side you complete it on, and you simply come to the opposite side, slice, open, and pass through. I'm gonna continue to work this motion all the way down. So as you can see, I'm working down to the end. Remember, what's most important is the sections need to be consistent. So if I go back up and I look at this, and I'm gonna tell you and be really honest with you, I'm not perfect, I'll make mistakes. But it's only a mistake if I don't learn from it. But you can see there's one section right here, where I felt that that section was too big according to what I've done consistently with the rest. So you can see how visually important it is that you take the same size section. Once again, continue to move down, and you can go down as far as you want. So let's review that. Last time, I slice it on one side, you come through, split that slice. Now simply pass this split through to the opposite hand on the opposite side. Then I want you to just smooth that out, make it one section. Come back through, take a section, consistency, and open that up, pass that through the opposite side, taking those two sections to this side. Okay, now we're gonna take an elastic, we're gonna come through and we're going to place an elastic on that end. And then remember, a great way to go in and with these big elastics and small little skinny ponytails is rather than looping through 10 times, I want you to simply come through and just simply keep twisting the elastic until the twist gets tight down at the base here. Once it's tight down at the base, then we know it's time to come through and place that in. Then all I'm gonna do is just cover this elastic up, taking a hairpin. And I'm taking a hairpin, coming through and covering the elastic up. Now look at the amount of hair that we have. A lot of times you think to yourself you're not gonna be able to do it because of the length of the hair. Take a hairpin, you're gonna slide the hairpin underneath the elastic. Okay, once you have that underneath the elastic, you're gonna come through, take a section of hair, palm and pinch with your thumb and index finger over the elastic and the hairpin and simply come through and wrap. You need tension. Take another hairpin, and with another hairpin, we're gonna come through, we're gonna open up the legs of the hairpin, make sure you captured all of the tail. Now, close the legs of the hairpin and thread that through. Once you thread that through, then we're gonna come through, we're gonna pull the tail that you thread through and push the pin, come back out on the opposite side. I like to use my index finger and thumb, moves all that hair out of the way, and now just pull that through and you've covered the elastic. Now let's take a look at the fishtail. In most cases, you'll see a fishtail only on one side. What I love about this technique, it's so fresh, and the fact that you get a box. So if I show you there's a fishtail there, there's a fishtail on that side, there's a fishtail on that side, and you have a fishtail underneath. It's one of the most coolest things I've ever seen. What I love about this too is look how stiff that can be. So imagine if I placed a wire down the center of that and then did this, that wire would allow you to bend this in a number of different ways. Lastly, I'm going to take hairspray. I'm gonna work with Fashion Work 12. And with the hairspray, I'm gonna come through and I wanna share with you a quick little technique just to kind of upgrade it and make it a little bit more evening, if you will. So I'm gonna work with Fashion Work 12. Fashion Work 12 is a working hairspray. I love it because I can comb through it. But at the same time, it gives me the tack that I need, but it's not overwhelming. So I'm gonna come through pretty close. I've talked to you about using the distance of the can to determine how far you're gonna spray so the section doesn't get so wet. It's a great hot tip to share with your guest at the chair. So what I wanna do in this particular case is I'm gonna move it closer. Why, Sam? Because I want this really nice and wet, and you'll see why. So I'm a little bit more close than what I normally would be, and I'm getting that nice and wet. Then I'm gonna reach for a flat iron. And with a flat iron, I'm just gonna come through and I've massaged and pulled out sections, and I'm just gonna come through and fin that. And I'm gonna come through, grab another section, just massage with my thumb and index finger and pull, and then I'm gonna thin this area. So once again, it's just giving the area in the back some visual value. When the guest walks away from you, you're seeing these little fins that we made by simply using a working hairspray and then using the flat iron. Once you've massaged sections that you want to pull out, just come through and massage them, and now just come through with a flat iron and just pinch those surfaces. So what's really, guys, that's fun to understand is the hair is a fabric. Just like the fashion designer understands the limits and capabilities of silk, so we must understand the limits and capabilities of fine hair. The limits and capabilities of wool. The fashion designer understands that. So we must understand the limits and capabilities of coarse, thick hair. And the same thing with our tools. Understand your tools. A butcher understands a steak knife, a bread knife. Each knife acts as a certain acts for a certain purpose. It's the same thing with the shears that we're making for you. You'll hear us talk about our slide cutting shear. You'll hear us talking about our reversible blender. You'll hear us talking about the idea of using our reversible blender, our Invisiblend. Each shear has a particular purpose. So remember, what's it all about? It's all about education. At Sam Villa, we will continue to bring it to you. And remember, you can find our tools at Salon Centric. Make sure you visit your local Salon Centric store. I'll see you at an educational event. If you ever see us, always come up and say hi to myself and the team. We're there for you. Remember, we're not rock stars. We're hairdressers who choose to be teachers. Thanks for watching.